Previously on the Journey Chronicles, we detailed a story of grind in the face of doubt, of perseverance in the face of failure, belief in the face of uncertainty. We traced how all this came into play in the crowning of La Decima, Yemi XP, the 10th different champion in the nest and the 3rd champion of Season 2. Then we launched the search for the next champion, the next player that will touch God mode and make the brightness of all other stats look dim. That's how episode 4 started. But the truth is, episode 4 started long before episode 4 began. The storm that was to become episode 4 started in the quiet ambience of the Phoenix studio when Mr. Oga, the champion of season 1, episode 7, said, "I'm winning the next episode."
We know you want to be there at the night of champions again. How eager are you for you to make your name here again?
I'm winning the next one.
Many stars are cautious. Many stars talk about trying, about wanting to win. Talk that appears bold but masks doubt. That was not Mr. Oga. He sat in front of the camera, no lot of doubt in his words, making a certain decree. He was winning the next episode and the tone was set. Eventually, the long-awaited day came and it was a spectacle, an ecstatic display of light from a constellation of stars shining in their full brightness. No episode of the Journey Minis has ever been this packed. 5 champions present in Baddy Jr., Beast, and Knave, Mr. Oga, and King Nonex. 2 other members of the 2025 team of the season in Boyd and Wallivation. 2 past semi-finalists in Merlin and Wizimane. Many past quarter-finalists including Novice, Emmy Kid, Afo, Baloke, to mention a few. 2 established names in the Nigerian EAFC scene in Kaykay from Akwa Ibom and Tactical from Port Harcourt. If you were looking for gangsters, this was it. We asked the fans who they thought would win, and the vote was dividend across 8 different players, as if to show that these players on their best days could conquer the nest. And the pot was boiling. AI decided to do some stirring. In the very first sitting of round 1, AI gave us a heavyweight matchup, Mr. Oga versus Kaykay. Mr. Oga's resolve was going to be tested from the very beginning. He said he was going to win it. He had to prove he was ready to wear the crown. Kaykay was arguably the best player in Akwa Ibom. This wasn't his first time in the nest, but his reputation had gone ahead of him. But as the heavyweight clash started, Mr. Oga began to demonstrate that his words were not merely words, not merely an expression of intent. He was going to force his will on everyone, whether they are from as close as Lagos or as far as Akwa Ibom. A surgical 3-1 victory over Kaykay to hand Kaykay his first defeat in the nest in his first match. Mr. Oga was locked in from get-go. But all the other big boys from the 2025 team of the season were not yet to play as well. Badgy Jr., Boyd, King Nonex, Beast, and Knave all secured 3 points except Wallivation, who dropped 2 points in a 1-1 draw against Jed the Dead. But AI wasn't done with us yet. Round 2 had another curveball loaded in it, as Badgy Jr. was now paired to face Tactical. Both went head-to-head against each other in what was champagne-level warfare of intellect and skill, but it ended in a draw that cost both of them their perfect group stage record. Now, behind the pack, Wallivation and Kaykay came back swinging in round 2, with Wallivation handing out an 11-0 battering to $1 billion, while Kaykay put 10 past SA999 in a match that ended 10-1. and the other 2025 team of the season members continued to handle business. Anif shut down Emmy Kid with 4 unreplied goals, while Boyd, King Nonex, Beast also secured their round 2 victory to continue to maintain their perfect record in the group stage. But Boyd lost his perfect record against Gima Eyong in round 3 as he barely scraped through with a draw in a 6-goal affair. Having dropped points against Tactical in round 2, Baji Jr. made sure his next opponent in round 3 suffered for it. He decimated Tommy 13-1 to finish the group stage with 7 points. At the end of the group stage, only 32 could make it. 66 started, 34 men out. Notable amongst the eliminated names were Emmy Kid, This Boy, Kunle, and Lukaku, all knocked out in the league phase. Meanwhile, 12 people finished the group stage with perfect scores. King Nonex, Anif, Beast, Mr. Oga all finished with perfect scores, showing why they're past champions. They were joined by Afo, Protagonist, King Arams, Merlin, Wolex, RF26, and Kamzi. Beast also finished with perfect scores at the last episode, showing these guys are actually forces to be reckoned with. Other 2025 team of the season members present, Boyd, Baji, Elevation, couldn't secure perfect scores but all qualified on 7 points. Baji Senior barely escaped through a goal difference to keep the family agenda rolling, but the roll was cut short in round of 32 as both were walkover alongside Boyd. Mr. Olga continued to make good on his decree as he came back from a 3-1 deficit to win 4-3 in what could contend strongly for the match of the episode. But the real surprise of the round of 32 was that Omoeko, who finished 28th in the group stage, knocked out King Arams. King Arams bottled a 4-0 lead to lose the match 6-4. It's difficult to separate this development from the fact that King Arams is an Arsenal fan. But whether Arsenal fan or not, the takeaway is to remember that sure odds no day Phoenix Nest. Very quickly, from 66 men who started, 16 men emerged. 5 past champions started, 4 were left. 7 team of the season members started, 5 were left. Tactical and Kaykay had now put their foot down as though to stake a claim. 16 men left, but only 1 had made a decree. I'm winning the next one. And somehow, we noticed something. M-Coin was still in the mix. How? Wow, this is truly special. The AI resumed its curveballs in the round of 16. Crazy matchups. Interesting fixtures like Merlin versus Kaykay were there, but our eyes were drawn to one match. King Nonex was to face Beast, the champion of episode 6 versus the champion of season 1, episode 5. They both participated in the 2025 Night of Champions, but have never played themselves in the nest. This match was the Crucible main stage event, the King from Benin versus the King of 95 rated. King Nonex playing with Bayern versus Beast playing with Germany. And so the game began. And in the 26th minute, it was the King from Benin that drew the first blood. A quick counter-attack that was finished off with a beautiful chip that showed unmatched composure, 1-0. And that lone goal became the lone goal as both players blessed us with a beautiful show of a masterclass in defending. You know, a lot of people say FC26 is just about scoring and outscoring. These 2 champions wowed us with a spectacle that questioned that generally held belief. The fact that King Nonex is also a past Golden Boot winner also rules out the question of whether their attacks were not good enough. That spectacle left us with one thought that is probably more true than people admit. Maybe the reason people concede a lot of goals is because people just cannot defend. 1-0, and King Nonex marched forward into the round of 8. Kaykay knocked the magic out of Merlin, and Eve ended M-Coy's fairy tale run. Tactical showed Omoeko the door, and the last 8 were now standing. From 7 team of the season members, we now had 4 left. From 5 champions, we now had 3 left. And of the lot, only one was operating by decree. Only one had claimed this was his before the tournament date was even set. And now, he was in the quarterfinals. The fixtures came out. He was to face Extraordinary Child, and he showed Extraordinary Child why he is the Oga. A 6-1 decimation, but 2 other matches were catching our attention. The first match was between 2 team of the season members, Wolevation versus Anif. Anif edged it and took 1 step closer to the throne. King Nonex versus Tactical. The PH-based tactician had been blazing through every opponent and had only drawn with Badi Jr. in his 5 matches so far, but the king from Benin was not having it. He found a way to shut down the man from PH and seated his place in the semis. 4 men left, 3 of them past champions. The last of them was Kaykay from Akwa Ibom. Then the MC asked Anif, who will you call out next?
Who will be more preferable that you will want to play in the semi-finals?
I'm on the out of lads, but let's see. But give me Mr. Oga, let me.
And AI answered the request. There it was. Anif versus Mr. Oga. Both played in the 2025 Night of Champions, but both never played each other. Now they were to face each other, and even more importantly, it was a call-out. Mr. Oga finished 7th in the 2025 rankings, Anif finished 8th. But the match was not a match at all. It was Mr. Oga melting out measured discipline. 4 unreplied goals on the main stage, as if to tell the world, 7th and 8th, though close, are so far apart. The second match was King Nonex versus Kaykay. Recall King Nonex had knocked out Beast, the king of 95 rated, knocked out Tactical, arguably the best in PH, and now the king from Benin was to face arguably the best player from Akwa Ibom. But the king from Benin delivered again, a hard-fought judgment against the man from Akwa Ibom. The match went to penalties after a 4-4 draw in regulation time, and both played 26 penalties before the match was decided. 26 penalties. King Nonex won 13-12. Alongside Mr. Oga, he was now the second person to defeat Kaykay, and both were now to face in the final. Meanwhile, Kaykay needed to vent, and he found the perfect opportunity to do it in the 3rd place match. A 6-2 massacre against Anif. That meant the man from Akwa Ibom was finishing 3rd. But the stage had now been set for the final. A final that Mr. Oga had seen long before the date of the tournament was set. He said he was going to win it, but only one man, scratch that, one king, was now in his way. Both using 4-2-3-1 wide. Asna for Mr. Oga versus Bayan for King Nonex. And the final started as finals should start. Both players cautious, both players probing. Both players shutting down the opponent's attack before it reaches the critical point. But eventually, the first chance came in the 21st minute. King Nonex played through to create a shooting opportunity, but Mr. Oga bruised till the shot hit the bar. And when the first shot on goal came in the 32nd minute, that shot was also the first goal of the game. And it was all Mr. Oga. Patient build-up, patient wing play, a cutback and incisive pass into the box, and a simple finish that betrayed the dexterity required to pull it off. 1-0 advantage Mr. Oga. He was backing up his words even in the final. But the very first shot was going to be the only shot on goal in the half, or more accurately, the last shot of the half. This was game management at its finest. Both players cautious, but King Nonex must turn on the nest. But the second half started with more back and forth without a shot until the 61st minute, when King Nonex combined beautiful passing with triggered run to create a perfect shooting chance, but Mr. Oga's goalkeeper's movement was immaculate as he turned it away for a corner. But the game all of a sudden felt more open. King Nonex was pressing and Mr. Oga saw spaces to exploit. And exploit he did. He created another chance in the 64th minute, but it was avoided by the goalkeeper. But Nonex pulled off another sequence of combined beautiful passing with triggered run to create a perfect shooting chance. This time, he buried it. 71 minutes, 1-1. 19 in-game minutes to go. With all to play for, the game was surely more open now, and in the 79th minute, Mr. Oga had a chance to seal it. But it was denied. Great goalkeeper movement from King Nonex. Both went to do some subs. A pit stop for the last 10 in-game minutes. 82 minutes, it was Nonex who also had his chance, but it was also denied. Everyone was now at the edge of their seats. The goal was now open, but any goal now would mean we have our champion. Unfortunately, that goal never came. Extra time was upon us, but extra time was all about defending. Last-ditch tackles, clutch moments, and occasional saves. 92 minutes, Nonex tackle. 94 minutes, Mr. Oga tackles. 100 minutes, Oga save. 112 minutes, Oga save. 120 minutes, Oga save. King Nonex surely had the advantage, but he couldn't finish it off. Even if he admitted if he had lost the match, it was going to be entirely his fault.
Because if I had lost that chance, lost that game, it would have been on me, because you don't afford to make those mistakes. So
all effort expended, still 1-1, and penalties came knocking. King Nonex had his head in hands. He knew he had been wasteful, but now all that mattered was the penalties. Mr. Oga knew that luck was on his side, and he now needed to just be composed. Victory was in sight. But on his very first penalty, he missed it. Saka bottom left, saved by the keeper. Mr. Oga's reaction said it all. That was a terrible, terrible start. King Nonex scored his. Kane doesn't miss. Both players scored their next 3 penalties, but Nonex was now leading 4-3. Odegaard steps up. Nonex already moved right. Odegaard plays bottom right, and it was saved. Saved by Nyo. King Nonex had done it. 2-time champion in 2 tournament appearances. Mr. Oga's goal had been given a death blow. The king from Benin was not going to allow it. Mr. Oga had imposed his decree on 7 different opponents, but at the final, he learned a harsh lesson. No decree shall be made until ratified by the king. The king from Benin overruled the decree of the season 1 episode 7 champion, Mr. Oga, and he became the second 2-time champion in the nest, with the only other person being the 2025 ultimate champion, Michel. And with 4 tickets to the Night of Champions punch, we are halfway to the end of this ultimate search. 4 more tickets to go, and it will go down to the wire. Will the 4 be from the 6 past champions who haven't punched their ticket? Or will it be from the other team of the season members? Will it be from a past podium finisher? Or will it be a totally fresh face in the nest? One thing remains true. Sure odds, no day Phoenix nests.